Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about why I don't believe in side hustles and why I believe everyone needs to have a full-time business. My name is Dielle Charon. I am a sales coach for aspiring and scaling women of color coaches. And I've been able to leave my 9-to-5 job as a social worker making $2,500 a month and build a multiple seven-figure business. And it was from this exact mindset. So one of the main things that I decided when I was introduced to entrepreneurship and I already had my 9-to-5 job at the time was I don't want to just side hustle. I don't want to just make side hustle money. I don't want to just do my business on the side. The goal from the jump always was to be a full-time entrepreneur. And I took that so seriously because I could have had a whole career as a social worker. I could have became a professor. I could have had this whole academic career teaching about social justice issues. But instead, as soon as I realized that entrepreneurship was a thing, I decided to go full force in it. And I cut out all this side hustle nonsense. I stopped negotiating my business. I stopped trying to put it into the side hustle bracket. And I really decided that I wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur. And so I see so many people in this gig economy and this side hustle economy just having side hustles. They will have 2, 3, 4 side hustle. They'll do hair, they'll babysit, they'll sell something on the side, they'll launch a clothing company, they'll have a little bit of a coaching business, they'll do photography, they'll do all of those things, but just on the side while keeping their 9-to-5 job. And I say no way to that. I say no way to that. And I think to get a little bit more vulnerable, right? And I think the main reason is because side hustles are safer. People want to do something on the side because they cannot imagine themselves as full-time entrepreneurs. But I want to help you understand the mindset of being a full-time entrepreneur and why you need to ditch your side hustle mindset and say goodbye to that. So one of the main reasons why I don't like the side hustle mindset and just having side hustles on the side is because you're just going to end up with side hustle money. You're just going to end up with a few side hustle money here, a little bit of side hustle money there, a few $100s here, a few $1,000s there, and it's not going to actually transform your wealth. It's not actually going to help you pay off of debt. It's not going to help you invest in the stock market or get into real estate. That side hustle money will just literally be something on the side. It won't make a drastic impact on your finances. You will still be relying on your 9-to-5 income. The only difference is now you're probably working 2 jobs and you're still just making side hustle money. When I was just focused on having a side hustle, I would sign a few clients here or there. It would be super inconsistent. And I was still just like flailing around as a new coach. And I had to ditch that mindset and actually become someone who believed that she can have a full-time business as a coach. This goes to another video that I created where I was able to save up my income because I stopped thinking like a side hustler and I started thinking like a full-time coach, and I was able to quit my 9-to-5 job. So make sure you go watch that video where I break down how I was able to save up all of my sales so that I can finally quit my job. So when we think about more than just the money, right? So if we get broader and we get bigger, entrepreneurship provides you with so many more options other than the money. Of course, I believe as an entrepreneur, you can make way more than your 9-to-5 ever could. And also there are so many more opportunities other than just the money. You get your time. You get to make your own schedule when you have your own business. And if you care about your loved ones, if you have a family, if you have other pursuits or other things that are important to you, you are able to give that energy and give that time to those things and not fit it in outside of your 9-to-5 job. And so having your own time is so important. It also is able to provide you with additional tax vehicles and wealth vehicles that having a 9-to-5 couldn't. I am able to write off certain things for my house and write off certain things for my retirement simply because I'm an entrepreneur, regardless of how much money I actually make. And so there's so many other layers and so many other things and benefits that entrepreneurship has. I'm an employer. I'm able to pay people. I'm looking at my creative director right now, my videographer right now. I'm able to employ people as well and provide that opportunity for people as well. So the money is obviously great, but there's so many other things that entrepreneurship can provide outside of the money that is honestly priceless. And to share a little bit about my story, entrepreneurship literally has saved my life. I was diagnosed with a chronic illness back in 2022, and that involved multiple doctor's visits, that involved me to stop what I was doing, hop to the doctor if I needed to go, that involved me having to rest and take weeks off at a time, that involved me having to take care of my body and put my body first over a job. And because I was an entrepreneur, I was able to do that. I didn't have to worry about calling in sick. I didn't have to worry about taking my vacation days with my sick days. I didn't have to worry about any of that because I became an entrepreneur. Let alone, I was able to pay for all of my super expensive medical treatment. I was able to afford naturopathic doctors and acupuncture and all of my medications, when if I was just living on that $2,500 a month, there would have been no way I was able to do that. And so all of these things have been able to help me, and entrepreneurship literally saved my life. I think back to the decision that I made to become an entrepreneur, and at that time I wasn't sick. At that time I didn't have a chronic illness, but I'm so grateful for my decision to take my business seriously and for me to put my all into my business, because it's helping me in ways that money can't. All right, I might have pulled your heartstrings a little bit. We can get back on track. Okay, so now I also want to share that we all have skills. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a side hustler, a full-time worker in a 9-to-5, we all have skills. And this was the way that I explained it to my Uber driver the other day. We all have skills. Do you want to give it to a 9-to-5, or do you want to give it to a full-time business? That is the really big difference. We all have the skills of being creative, or whatever you're doing in your 9-to-5 job. If you're working on spreadsheets, if you're counting numbers, whatever your skill is at your 9-to-5 job, you have the ability to then sell that as a service for yourself. So every skill is marketable. We all need the skills that we're doing either at a 9-to-5 or in our business. And do you want to be spending those skills on yourself? That's the biggest difference. And so when I realized that, okay, my job can pay me for this skill, or I can sell this skill to other people and be in a lot more control over my money, over my time, over how my schedule looks, over my own income. I don't have to wait for a promotion. I don't have to call off from work. That really helped me shift. So I don't want you thinking that you don't have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. What if you're already an entrepreneur, but just to a job? I want you to use all the skills that you're giving to a job. I want you to take them and sell them and make twice as much, while also having all of your time in your control. So with all of these reasons, that's why I believe it is so important to not just think about side hustles, but think about being a full-time entrepreneur. So thank you so much for tuning into my video. Make sure to download my free training all about how you can become a full-time coach in the online coaching industry, and I will see you in the next video.